Hello everyone, today we'll be starting with the Companies Act 2013. I have downloaded this PDF from the MCA website and I will share the link of the same in the description for your reference. So today we are covering section number 1. As the name suggests, this section talks about the title of this act, the extent to which the act is applicable, and the commencement of this act when this act came into force, and the application, as on which all the companies this act is applicable. Okay, so the first subsection talks about the title. Almost in all that, the first section is the introductory act, which talks about the title and the application of that act. So, in this case, we have this act may be called the Companies Act 2013, as we know. And second, we have the extent. It extends the whole of India. Previously, the Jammu and Kashmir was excluded from the whole of India, but now it is included. Third, we have the commencement of the act. This section shall came into force at once, and the remaining provisions of this act shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, appoint, and different dates may be appointed for different provisions. It means that this section, the section number 1, came into force when the Companies Act came into force, and the Companies Act came into force on 29th August 2013, and the rest of the provisions will come into force as the central government will notify in the official gazette. Official gazette is the legal newspaper of India. So different dates may be appointed for the different provisions. So basically, if in any provision it is written that this provision shall come into force at the commencement of this act, and here in this case the commencement of this act is referred to the commencement of the that provision, that specific provision, when the central government notified. So just for example, if the Companies Act came into force on 29th August 2013, and if there is a section, let's suppose 100, and the CG notified that the section number 100 will come into force on the 1st April of 2014, and if any provision of section number 100 is saying that this provision will be applicable when this act came into force, and there the reference which is saying that this act came into force will be deemed as the coming in force of the section number 100. So the provision will be applicable from the 1st April 2014 when the section number 100 came into force. Now we are done with the title, extent, and the commencement of the act. And the last one we have is the application of the Companies Act. So the Companies Act will apply to the companies incorporated under this act or under any previous law. The company law which existed before the coming into force of the this current Companies Act 2013, and it will also include all the insurance companies, banking companies, companies engaged in the generation or supply of electricity. So company law will apply on these such companies also, provided that the provisions of the company law, that is the general law, and the specific act under which that specific special company is incorporated, their provisions shall not be contradict to each other. And the same is written here, that except in so far as the said provisions are inconsistent with the provisions of the specific act. So if the general company law and the specific provisions of that specific company act, if they contradict with each other, then company law will not be applicable and that specific act will be applicable on that special company. And the other two companies on which the company law is applicable are any other company governed by any special act for the timing in force. Here it is saying that any other company except the insurance, banking, and electricity company, if there is any other such company which is governed under special act, so all those companies are also included here and the company law will be applicable on them. And the last inclusion we have is any body corporate which the CG may notify. So CG may notify that on this such body corporate, company law will applicable, subject to some exceptions, modifications, or adaptations as may be specified in the notification. So CG may direct any such body corporate and the company law will be applicable on such body corporate subject to the exceptions, modifications, or adaptations, and the company law will be applicable on such body corporate in an altered manner. So that is it for today, and in the next video we will be discussing with the section number 2, which is of definitions. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.